out of your administration, out of your contribution, the life memberships came your way?
Yeah, I've got a life membership of this club,
yep.
Burnside University, and of Canterbury Cricket.
Yep.
I'm also a life member of New Zealand Cricket Junior Cricket Board, but that's now disbanded, of course, so it's
yep.
an entirely different setup.
Yep. And you're also a life member of Christchurch Metro.
Well, exactly.
I think you're the second one.
Yeah, that's something you don't go into with the idea of being a life member.
No.
That doesn't appeal to me, but yeah.
But they are acknowledgements, aren't they? Of your service.
They're acknowledgements of
service to cricket.
Time spent.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Further acknowledgement of that came from the Christchurch City Council.
It is paused as a city to pay tribute to John Fraser Thompson, his exceptional contribution to the development of cricket in Christchurch, to his commitment to the support that we celebrate today, and his dedication to all the young players whose talent and skills have been nurtured by Burnside Cricket. I'm delighted to present the Christchurch Civic Award 2015 to you on behalf of the Christchurch City Council and a grateful community.
One of the funnier things, well, not funny, but it was quite serious at the time. There was a council meeting, full council meeting, and I was given speaking rights. And me being me, decided to step off with my left foot as I tend to, knowing full well how the council had reacted or was reacting to the redevelopment of Hagley. It was pretty political at the time, where there was a whole lot of councillors who didn't want the council to proceed with the development of Hagley. And of course there were some that were quite interested in the redevelopment of Hagley. And at this particular stage where I was given my presentation, I was given speaking rights. So I started off by, my sort of opening address was,
now that Canterbury Cricket has got a home at Hagley Park, I think it's marvellous. Now, I know that the whole of the council is not totally with it, but I think in the long term, I think the council are going to benefit very much so from the construction they've put up out there. God knows who's going to pay for it, doesn't matter. I'll just get rated higher and higher and higher.
I remember at the time, about 6 or 7 of the councillors actually stood up and applauded me for opening my mouth and saying what had to be said.
That's about all I have to say, but once again, thank you very much. I honour this very much.
Thank you.
But there was so much dithering around, and there was, bullshit letters bloody going to the paper about how dare they bloody do this to Hagley, how dare they do this, you can't do this, you can't do that. And finally, common sense did prevail. Right. And now we've got a world-class bloody structure, which is not the envy of the world, but it is certainly looked at as being a huge improvement to the standard of cricket grounds around the world. Yeah. And might be exaggerating, but I think it is. I've travelled around the world a lot. Yeah. And to me it is brilliant.
Back in the day when we started this, the game was for premier cricketers, senior cricket was 2 days. We only played 2-day cricket, so the one-day game sort of evolved around.
One-day game really hadn't evolved at that stage?
No. It was sort of 1969-70 that it started, but also the playing surfaces. You talked about preparation here and how the pitch is so good. Tell us the sort of conditions you played in the 50s, 60s, early 70s maybe. What the pitches were, the covering of pitches, from memory? They didn't have covers in those days.
Well, I remember distinctly having huge problems with footholds, where guys would turn ankles
Yep.
with monotonous regularity. So the repair work that used to go on was not great. We didn't have blocks. Blocks being 8 wickets in a block. You'd have two, and that's all you'd use. Probably
So you didn't have that width
in the whole season.
Yeah.
So you had huge problems with batsmen falling over, bowlers turning ankles. That was big time. Like I remember I used to have a big elastic brace on my ankle, because I'd roll, I'd twist, roll,
fall into the bowling hole.
and net result is, I have difficulty. I've got a frozen ankle, for example, like it's frozen as in bolted together with bloody nuts and bolts. And I've got very little movement. So for me to be able to run now is impossible.
So
that's got nothing to do with
things like sawdust.
the dreaded drink.
Yeah, I thought it was the drink. Yeah, that wobble, that shuffle. But
So conditions have improved.
absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
The covers obviously, but players of today barely would have played in sawdust. Where back in the day there was sawdust all over the batting areas of the pitch because of the impact of rain and.
Yeah, I mean, if you were 6 foot and you were batting, you'd only be 5'8", because you'd be 4 inches lower.
Yeah.
And I'm being relatively serious.
So one days, tell us your view on. I mean, back in those days we were talking about club cricket and 2-day cricket, but now one day's become popular, and T20 even, a recognised and serious format of the game.
Not in my book.
No, you're not a fan of it. One-day cricket's become
One-day cricket's
more the
okay.
norm.
Yep.
What don't you? What
T20
don't,
cricket has got a few things running for it. It's improved athleticism of players. You can no longer play T20 cricket if you can't catch, can't throw, and can't run. So it's improved fielding remarkably. I'm not sure it's improved batting. The technique of batsmen now is you got to hit your shit out of the ball and make it disappear. That to me isn't batting. No. Cover drives and off drives and late cuts and no.
I guess equipment has allowed that to happen, improving in the size of the bat and the edge of the bat.
The willow's improved. Probably the ball may have improved a wee bit.
The ball probably doesn't swing as much as it used to. I don't think the ball. You don't see the swing bowlers as much.
Technology has improved the calibre of cricket, no doubt about that.
Yeah, definitely fielding's improved. I'm inclined to agree with the batting with you. I think techniques aren't probably as good. However, batsmen nowadays score 360 degrees, where the old adage of playing the V isn't adhered to, because you've got to be able to access all parts of the ground.
And that's why the fielding has improved. People have got to have sharper reflexes. They've got to be able to anticipate better. They've got to be more athletic. Nowadays, if you hit the ball over the fence, you've got to hit it miles over the fence. Otherwise, you get some guy 6'6" jumping up, tapping the ball back to a mate running inside. I mean, that's spectacular stuff.
Marvellous, particularly
Great stuff.
Televised. Okay, Tomo, well, look, that's been brilliant. Many thanks for sharing your thoughts and sharing what's been a fascinating history. And I just reiterate how we started, that you're to be congratulated on your service to cricket in Christchurch, cricket in Canterbury, cricket in New Zealand, but particularly your outstanding service to the West Christchurch University and the Burnside West Christchurch University Cricket Club. Well done.
Thank you.